All right, we're solving systems by substitution. We have a quiz tomorrow. Again, if you go to my webpage, you'll see on my webpage right there in the middle, there's a good presentation on graphing. The method that I'm describing right now is substitution method. We have 4 problems that we can do by substitution. The first one is y equals negative 7x minus 8, and the second equation is negative 8x minus 2y equals 16. Guys, I'm working number 5 on the worksheet. This particular problem is solved for us already. Does it have to be solved for y? No, it could have just as easily said x equals something. If it says x equals something, then I replace what's in this red box for x. But in this particular problem, notice it says y equals, and so now what I want to do is I want to solve one of the equations for one of its variables, or as in this situation, look, eyes up here. This one's already solved. This is number 5, guys. If you haven't worked number 5, you need to work right there with me. The whole idea of this stuff is you're doing it correctly in that you're keeping up with all your minus signs and everything like that. Okay, so negative 8x minus 2y, I replace the y, equals 16. What's the next step? Okay, so negative 8x, what's a negative times a negative? Positive 14x plus 16 equals 16. What number is this? 5 or 6? Okay, so now what I have, negative 8x plus 4x is 6x. When I subtract 16 to the other side, that gives me 0. So x equals 0 divided by 6. Guys, 0 divided by 6 is 0. So that means x equals 0. So now take that 0 back up to this original problem up here. This original problem, which is y equals negative 7 times, and plug in your 0 and minus 8, and so y equals negative 8. So what I have here is I now have what I believe is a solution. And the answer that I believe is a solution is 0, negative 8. Guys, if I could teach you nothing else over the next little bit, it would be this concept. I would try to teach you to be conscientious enough to take 0, negative 8, go back up here and plug it in, and you'll see negative 8 times 0 is 0. Negative 2 times negative 8 is positive 16. So this point, guys, it checks out. And checking out means it solves both equations. All right, now, any of the other ones in substitution there? Either 7 or 8. If not, I'll go on to elimination. Everybody good with substitution? In number 7, just so I can make sure everybody's got it. In problem number 7, it says 3x plus y equals negative 8. If 3x plus y is negative 8, solve that equation. And I really don't like my notes here, but I wrote this, and I'm the one that wrote it because it says no coefficient. It probably shouldn't say no coefficient right there. It should say what is the coefficient? 1. Guys, in the system 3x plus y equals negative 8, and negative 6x minus 6y equals negative 12. If I were going to solve one of the equations for one of its variables, I would solve this first equation for y, because the leading coefficient, I said no coefficient. I should have said the the coefficient of one of the variables was 1. So solve that one by substitution and go on.